Okay, thank you for coming. All right, our Friday sessions of our skills and activities are a little bit different than the others in that it's just kind of an open topic day. If there's anything you want to talk about with the managers, it's usually me and Shauna here to help answer questions and to have a conversation. And I also like to show a video from the Mike Ferry organization. He's one of the coaches that we like here, and that we think he has a lot of good information to bring to us on a regular basis. And it's also the Mike Ferry program that our Monday skills and activities are built around. And they're built around prospecting methods and skills development, particularly how to do the 5-point listing program, which so we do those Monday through Thursday. We do that and develop skills and role play. But
Which
today,
has helped. Yeah, I was going to say it's really helped me with my business. Even after years and years, I learned so much.
right. Yeah, it was a revelation to me after 30 years to see his 5-point listing program and all of the questions, you should ask before you go into somebody's house and make that presentation. It just makes it go so much smoother and it gives you such a higher chance of getting that listing that night. Yeah, we have learned a lot from this, and we're very happy to keep bringing it to our agents every morning. All right, let me reshare. Also, while I have this open, what's on the screen today is the video. I want to let me reshare that. TV studio here. What's on the screen today is the Productivity Hub. And this was created for agents as a resource and as a go-to place. And the primary thing that it does is this is where we meet. This is where the Zoom meeting link is. So there's no reason to mess around with links and send meeting notices back and forth. We all just click into the same Zoom room every morning and every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. And we'll have our meetings right here. On the right side of that, every meeting has a blog with an agenda for the Wednesday meeting that we're going to do. Wednesday meetings, we spend about 20 minutes going over the current market statistics. We really want to understand the interest rate, where it might be going. We'll look at the rate of inflation. I'll have a little presentation on what the topic of the day is. Usually a change in the market recently is what we're talking about, and a change in tactics. Recently we've been talking about what to do when listings are sitting and how to get those price reductions. Then we'll talk about company news. Century 21, the corporate side, has a lot of stuff and a lot of new stuff coming and a lot of educational stuff. And so I'll bring you the latest things there that they've given to us. They've got a conference coming up. They've got, in case you missed it, bulletin comes out once a month on things that are going on in corporate. Then we'll do how's the market. We'll even role play the little elevator speech. So you can quickly, right off the top of your head, say interest rates are 5.15%, and it's a seller's market. It's still a good time to buy. And you'll know those things to tell people that you see, because that's the question you get asked every day as a realtor. And then we'll go into a discussion and we'll bring topics, and then the managers can talk, and we'll maybe watch another short video, and the managers will talk about topics. And all the topics are how to make money. All the topics are how to improve your business and bring you the skills that you need. So that's what we'll do on Wednesday. So today, Mike Ferry has a video, 7 useful real estate rules for 2023. And let me reshare and we'll play that and then have a discussion on that. How's that, Shauna? Did I cover everything?
I think you did a really Great job.
Okay. Okay. And there's Mike. He looks like he's shouting.
Balance and most important. Welcome and good morning to Mike Ferry TV. It is the week of the 23rd of January. We're almost at the point of 1 month down, 11 to go. And of course, my question is, how have you done this first month? It is not uncommon at all for agents to delay the start to a new year, especially as we celebrated the holidays, especially as we celebrated what you have done this past year. The problem is when you start a new year, you start at zero, even though you're carrying, in many cases, 1 or 2 listings and a couple of escrows or pendings. I've had a lot of requests for different types of messages, and I saw something last week. In fact, it was sent to me by one of our coaching clients, and it was called 7 Good Rules for Living Life in 2023. And we all understand as real estate professionals that we're balancing at all times our personal life and our business life. And this business, as we both know, can be very time consuming. You know, you get a couple of good leads and you're following up and you're preparing, and whether it be showing property or trying to list property, there's a lot of time, energy spent in that, and that sometimes takes the balance of life a little out of whack. So this particular thought that I want to share with you today, I thought was pretty good for helping us balance out our life and keep a sense of humor about us as we proceed through the year, and probably most importantly, just keep us on track. But I also want to say congratulations and thank you to the large group of you that attended our production retreat in Las Vegas last week. It was a huge success for the clients and prospects in the audience. A huge success for my company because we had a great audience, got very involved. You got to watch a lot of live role plays, which I think was really impressive. And for all those people that were involved in the role plays, we have a big hats off and a big say thank you for what you've done. So 7 rules for 2023. Rule number 1, let it go, whatever it is. And then this author says, never ruin a good or great day by thinking about a bad yesterday. Because in life, in real estate, there's going to be some really good days. There's going to be some days that aren't so good. It's called normal. But he says we have to get up each day and let what happened yesterday go. And when you think about that, that's really good advice for keeping a sense of humor, a sense of balance, and most importantly, keeping ourselves engaged in working in real estate. But number 2, he says, ignore them. And when I saw number 2, I thought, I wonder what he's going to say after ignore them. Don't listen to other people. Live a life that's empowering to you. The nice part about real estate is everybody has an opinion. There's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of smart people that are doing training and coaching. There's a lot of ideas. It's one of the few industries, as you've probably caught on, where working for an IBM or for a Microsoft or for American Airlines, there's a pretty narrow and direct path you have to follow to succeed. In real estate, that path is miles wide. Everything from being an expert on social media to being an expert on calling on for sale by owners. Everything from getting a lot of referrals to becoming a strong listing agent. Ignore all the words that are out there. Live a life that empowers you to achieve the goals you've set. I thought it was an interesting thought. Number 3, he says, give whatever it is you're doing a little more time, because everything takes more time than what we anticipate or expect. And it's so interesting to me is we're in a business where we get a license or we change companies or we go to a seminar and get excited and we expect instant results. And I've always taught in real estate what we refer to as a 90-day cycle. From the time you generate a lead to, in most cases, getting a contract signed, There's a series of events and cycles you go through, and it normally takes 60, 75, 90 days. So the anticipation when you're generating leads, 1, 2, 3 leads a week, are that they probably are not going to be under contract 60, 70, 95 days, or in essence, give it a little more time. Number 4, he said, don't compare. And of course, I've stated this for years to all of our clients, don't compare. He said, the only person you should try to beat is the person you were yesterday. That's a very common theme. Most of the great motivational speakers and thinkers share that thought on a regular basis. The person you want to compare yourself is to the person in the mirror. You did your job yesterday. Now let's see if we can duplicate that and do it 2 or 3 or 5 days in a row. Comparing yourself to somebody else is almost always going to lead to lesser results and a lesser feeling of satisfaction. Number 5 is a difficult one at times. Stay calm. Stay calm. He said it's okay not to have everything figured out. Know that in time, you'll figure most things out. Stay calm in the process. Last week, when we were talking about doing 50 transactions a year, I mentioned the fact that the hardest part of real estate is keeping the emotion and drama out of your transactions, because real estate is an emotional business. Think about a buyer buying a home. It can be very emotional. This is the home of our dreams. Or think about a seller selling a home that they've lived in for many years, where their family was raised, their children went to school, they played with the neighbors, and now they're leaving that. That's an emotional decision. So therefore, we have to be, and this came from Joan Pate many years ago, great agent from Salt Lake City, we have to be the calming force in every transaction. Number 6, when I first read it, I didn't clearly understand it. I gave it a few more thoughts and I started to understand what he was saying. It's on you. Only you are in charge of your production, your income, how you feel about the day, the happiness that you experience or don't experience. We're in charge. It's on you. Now, we're very lucky, a lot of us, to have some very inspirational people around us that we admire, look up to, listen to. And in many cases, your broker, your manager is a very inspiring person. You might be involved in some type of a coaching program with ourselves or somebody else, and that can be very inspiring. But it really comes down to you and I doing what has to be done each day to make that happen. And then number 7 was just one word, smile. And I wrote, comma, maybe a little bit more than you have in the past. He said, life is short, enjoy it while you have it. Because the truth is, even though I saw an article a couple of weeks ago that the average age of a person in the US, and I'm sure the Canadians are probably the same or very close, is now up to like 77.6 years. Well, if you're 25 in real estate today, 77, which happens to be my age because I'm turning 78 soon, 77 seems like years and years away. It goes by pretty fast. So the more you smile, the more you enjoy the experience. Well, Mike, sometimes these transactions get a little uncomfortable. How do you smile? Well, you smile about the fact that you're a professional, you're good enough to solve the problem, get the whole transaction put together, get closed, have a happy seller, a happy buyer, somebody that's going to give you referrals in the future, and you get paid a paycheck. And that should bring a smile to your face. So hopefully these 7 rules for 2023 will make this year a little better. I probably would suggest you watch this particular MFTV a couple of times this week. Write down the 7 rules, put them on a 3x5 card, carry it in your pocket, your purse, your wallet, your briefcase. Keep reading them to keep living them to have what you want out of the business. Talk to you next week. Thanks for today.
All right. It's about mindset today.
Yeah, he doesn't do that very often.
No, no, he's very good at it, but yeah, usually he
Yeah.
jumps right into skills and, shame on you for not prospecting and all of that a good coach is supposed to do. But yeah, it was a really good one. It was a really
It
good-
was.
Did you have any takeaways, Shauna?
Yeah. The thing that stood out to me probably is the stay calm thing, because everybody always is like worried about their clients being upset or problems coming up. And I always think, wow, this is a good opportunity, because if you have something go wrong and you fix it for them, you're their hero. And they'll start referring you to everybody. So when you stay calm and level-headed when things are going crazy, because they do, they will really appreciate that. A lot of my testimonials will people will talk about how I helped them through some difficult times. And I think that is the thing that stood out to me the most on it.
Exactly. And you know what? It's a skill. It's a skill that you develop throughout your entire career. Do you remember a few months ago, Shauna, you and I were faced, an agent came to us with something, and this agent was nearly in a panic.
Yes.
And she called me, and she just, as well as she could, describe the situation. There was a potential loss of tens of thousands of dollars to her client. She may have made a mistake. And I said, okay, I don't want you to worry, because there is a path out of anything. And when I get to the office, and Shauna and I get to the office and meet with you, we're just going to calmly explore that path. No one's going to jail. No one's losing their license. Let's just work through this when we have all of the facts and all of the paperwork. And she said, oh, thank you. Just thank you for saying that.
Yeah, she was, when it happened, she was out of town, and she just said, I have to fly back home. I can't be by myself doing this.
Right.
And so she flew back in, and it got fixed and everything was okay.
In that case, everything was okay, and it could have gone several ways, but there was no outcome that was not okay. Everything has an outcome. Everything has an outcome that that we can live with, because we have insurance.
Right. Brianna's a business owner. She understands that.
Yeah. Yeah. But remember, one of the first things we explored, Shauna, is do the parties still want to sell? That's always the first thing to look at. Well, can we get this deal back together? What are the issues here? And as it turns out, in that case, we did get that deal back together. It was all a misunderstanding and ruffled feathers when they still wanted to sell the house to that party. And that was the solution in that case.
Another big thing is do I need to alert, or to keep calm and not to go to her clients and blow it up. Like we worked through everything before she talked to the client. We looked at all the different things that could happen before she talked to her client. And we made sure that sometimes it's really good to we have to disclose everything immediately to your client, but sometimes it's really good to stay calm and not rush into things like that.
Yeah, immediately after talking to your broker, your principal broker. Maybe that's a good way to go. Yes, people always talk to your principal broker. Our brokers are very experienced at North Star, and they've seen it. Whatever it is, they've already seen it, and there's an answer to everything. Yeah. All right. What did he say? Let it go. Whatever it is, just let it go. That's true in probably all cases. We tend to get hooked on one thing that went wrong and lash onto it.
Yeah, it's not always the bad things too, because if you're too excited about making commissions and this and that, you may not work as hard the next day. So yeah, make sure you let yesterday go and work forward.
That's right. yeah, nothing will stop business like a big commission check. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just too distracting. He said, ignore them, and he's talking about other people, and he's talking about naysayers and people that are going to bring you down.
No time for them.
No time for them. Live the life that empowers you.
Sean,
Give what
Sean,
Yeah.
you remember my new construction in Ridgefield?
Yes.
First time buyers. I can kind of relate to that. And it wasn't like it was anything, I wasn't going to lose money. It wasn't anything like uber serious, but there was constantly like little problems all the time. And it's so true. They looked to me to get the answers, figure it out, fix it the best way we could. And then in the review at the end, when they give you like, what I recommend her or whatever that Century 21 sends out.
Yeah, the survey. Yeah.
They're real satisfied. Yeah, that's exactly what she put in there was, my agent was there for the highs and the lows, and she gave me props for it, even though it was just doing my job really, and it was not big deals, but to them it was big,
Right.
So I can totally relate to that for sure.
Oh, great.
I wish I didn't come in late and miss the video though.
Oh, well, I recorded this meeting. I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's so true. It's extremely important to the clients. It might be routine to the realtors, but this is in the vast majority of cases, this is the most important financial decisions people make. It's life-changing events to buy and sell their home. And
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's all the oftentimes it's something that's life-changing that is forcing them to sell too.
That's
So, yep.
And it's always about being calm. Remember, we've been training so much on the market, and just with my little summary on what to say about the market, we were making fun of the things other people say, like, how's the market? Oh, it's crazy. Oh, it's just wild. Oh, people are having so much trouble. You can't buy a house. They've got 20 offers. That's the answer from a professional, is that everything's crazy. That won't do. People want a more professional response. They want to know what the interest rate is. They want to know what the economists think. They want to know what the statistics are, and they want your advice. Is it time to sell? Is it a good time to buy? They don't want this. It's crazy. So you have to be quite a bit of a counselor in a lot of situations, because it's a process that everybody's been through. There's an answer for everything.
Did you see that the chief economist is going to be on Century 21 doing a presentation soon?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but I'll look it back up and I'll share it with everybody because he always has a lot of good information.
I signed up for are you talking about I came through Century 21. He does it every year.
Yes.
That one. Yeah, I signed up for that. He's fat. He's very interesting, and he's usually pretty spot on too, it seems.
Yeah.
Has been, yeah.
Yes. And he never says the market's crazy.
No, that's not one of his things.
Not something he says.
Can you imagine? Just think of it. This is how I think of it. When you walk into a doctor's office or going for surgery, and they say something like that to you, what are you going to do? Like, I'm out of there.
Yeah. What's the prognosis? It's crazy.
Yeah. Next.
That's funny.
It's something auto mechanics say to you. They come out and they, oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, you brought your checkbook, I hope. All right.
whatever you are doing, a little more time, that's a good thing for me because I'm always in a rush. Everything I do, on to the next thing, go, go, go. So spending time and doing things that I have to focus on a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And that really applies, to what you're doing in lead generation. Sometimes people try something. I've got people who will, invariably, people will come in and we'll talk about, of all the things to do, and there are hundreds of things to do to generate leads. We will talk about circle prospecting and actually making a phone calls, because it's the most direct thing to do. It's not the best. It's not the only one. It's not something you have to do, but it is the most direct. It's the one thing where if you must have a listing in the next 30 days, that will get you a listing if you make those calls and play the numbers game. People don't put enough time into that. You get discouraged very quickly. And I have to remind that it takes 100 phone calls to get a lead. But that's something people don't put the time into, that they're not patient enough with that.
It's hard.
It is hard. And Shauna, you've done a good job of that. How do you keep at it?
The next one for don't compare. Well, I'm like a very competitive person, so I have to always want to do better. And I guess that motivates me. And then you have a really good year and you're like, oh gosh, how am I going to have a good year again? That good. So I'm like I try to keep it comparing to myself only, but it's hard. I do like to compete.
You do like to compete.
Yeah.
And you set a business plan every year. And so you're competing against your business plan. And sometimes you beat it. And sometimes you meet it. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like last year, just barely made it.
Yeah. Okay. And yes, the second to the last, it's on you. You are in charge of your mindset and your production. It is all about you. It's a lonely business. And that's why the managers and I, we work so hard to have as much communication with our agents as we can, because we know it's a lonely business. We know that at the end of the day, you're alone in your prospecting. You're alone in thinking up ideas and ways to reach out to people. You're a sole proprietor, and we understand that.
Yep. We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there, and it is on you. It is on you. And the last one, smile, maybe more.
Yeah.
I'd say the same thing to Mike. He should smile more.
Yeah, him. He should.
He should.
I probably smile a lot, but I also have to work on trying to be more serious when I talk to people. That was something I had to train myself to do. And I work with that with some of the agents when they have such great personalities and they're smiling, but they're laughing at inappropriate times when they're doing things. It's like you don't laugh while you're talking to somebody about the value of their house, So there's appropriate times to smile and laugh, and then
You know what? It takes confidence to be serious. Some people aren't there yet. It's absolutely a skill. We all know how to laugh and have a good time, but do we know how to convey serious information in a professional way? But like I say about skills, whatever personality trait you are, whatever personality traits you have, anybody can do what they want to do. I think we're all, I'm proof of that. Shauna's proof of that. If you want to do it, you can develop the skills to do it.
Yes.
Right. All right. That's our time. I will let you get back to work.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.